Oliver Luck returns. Maybe. Also, we talk about the possibility of the location of the championship game for the 2021 season. And will the XFL be having their games inside a bubble? Let's talk about it. What is going on, everybody? This is Desmond Dukes, and welcome back once again to XFL Talk right here on your local stations as far as YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, we got a couple of different stories. First off, sorry it took me so long to get some of these up. I've been so busy, and every time I said I was going to post one, something happened. I wasn't able to, and it's just a complete mess. But anyway, we're back in the fold now. Everything's good. So let's get right into it. First topic of the day is Oliver Luck returning to the XFL. Is this a possibility? Honestly, it looks like a no. Now, right now, as if anybody doesn't know, Oliver Luck is possibly or I should say, Oliver Luck is in a dispute right now with Vince McMahon in a lawsuit involving his pay and how he was treated unfairly when it came down to that pay. Now, this has been going on for a while, and at first the XFL was kind of getting dragged into it, but then Oliver Luck decided to leave the XFL out because he wanted the XFL to be bought and to keep them continuing to look good. So with him and Vince McMahon just dealing with whatever they got to deal with, they're keeping that separate from what's going on with the XFL. Now, of course, we all know that Danny Garcia, who was the mastermind, I might add, to purchasing the XFL along with Dwayne Rock Johnson and Redbird Capital, they have been starting to do rehires as far as trying to get people back in. They're even looking at coaches, bringing back a lot of the coaches that are going to be available. We know for sure, possibly, people like June Jones, who was the coach of the Houston Roughnecks, will probably be coming back. Jonathan Hayes, who was the coach of the Battlehawks, we know for sure, he's even said it himself that he'd come back. So there's a strong possibility that he'll come back, along with his brother, who was, I believe, the defensive coordinator for the Battlehawks. So that's just to name a few. We're looking at possibly Bob Stoops coming back for the Renegades. So hopefully something like that will come about. But we've been hearing some offers from him, possibly coaching for LSU. Who knows? We'll play that one by ear. But regardless, Oliver Luck. Now, look, did I love Oliver Luck as the commissioner of the XFL? Yes, I think he did an absolutely phenomenal job. He did a fantastic job. And the way him and Jeffrey Pollack, who was the president and CEO of the XFL, they both did a fantastic job. And Oliver Luck really made it about the fans. He really brought that positivity to the fan base and really helped establish a lot of the rules with the game and some of the different strategic things that they've done as far as like the kickoff return and the point system after a touchdown. You know, he was he was part of the brains of that operation. And just the possibility of him not coming back is kind of sad to me, because I really enjoyed what he's done and I was looking forward to what he could do within the XFL. But with things heating up and things going on between him and Vince McMahon with this lawsuit, it wouldn't be, at least right now, a good idea, because you know this lawsuit is going to drag on for a while. But with him dealing with that, it's not a good look for him to be trying to continue his position in the XFL while dealing with that lawsuit. It just is not a good look for the XFL. And I think he's the smart man and the better man to know that he doesn't want that to happen. So he's going to distance himself from the XFL when it comes to that. Now, will he eventually return? I believe so. I think once the dust settles and everything's taken care of and squared away, I think we could be looking at a possible return of Oliver Luck. Will he want to come back? That's the big question. I think we'll know more once after the lawsuit happens and, the negotiations conclude. That's pretty much what that is in a nutshell. Oliver Luck could come back. He may not come back. Right now, it's not looking like a possibility. Could they find someone to take his place? Of course. But whoever will take his place, as long as they realize and understand the foundation that he laid to get the groundwork going for the XFL and kind of build off of that, I think that's going to be a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing is going to transpire as far as the commissioner role is concerned. Now, next order of business that I do want to talk about, you guys let me know, though, first, what you guys think of that. Do you think Oliver Luck should come back, or should he kind of just keep his distance right now? Maybe possibility coming back later. We'll see how that goes from there. But Oliver Luck, as of right now, is not returning to the XFL. Next order of business, the XFL possibly having their 2021 season in a bubble. Now, how do we feel about that? Honestly, I'm okay with it, considering all the situations still going on with COVID-19. We don't want to try and rush and get the fans out there and then start this whole thing over, and then the season gets canceled again. But it would be a lot easier for the XFL to do a bubble type season than it is for the NFL. Because you got to remember, the NFL has 32 teams and the XFL only has 8. So with those 8, it's a lot easier to maintain. You could keep it, all either in one dome or, a couple different domes. It doesn't matter. If it's all on the same campus, you can have 2 football fields, enclosed, something like that. I think it could work out, because then you could still continue to have 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday and still keep within that same format. So I think that would work out absolutely tremendous doing it that way. And I think that would be a great deal, because now you can get those eyes on the product. Now, here's the situation dealing with that. Right now, college football is not happening. It's just it's done. Now, I haven't heard anything else about the SEC and the ACC as of yet. As far as I know, their seasons are still going to happen, but I haven't heard anything different. But we know the Pac-10, the Big Ten, and I think one other one, they had all canceled theirs. So that, and they're looking at doing it in the spring. Now, with them doing their games in the spring for college and the XFL starting up in the spring, that's going to be a lot of football between the two. And you're going to get some games where they're going to cross paths. Which one do you watch? So I think that would probably be the only hindrance for the XFL, because remember, college is much more established, because people want to see those rising stars coming out of a lot of those colleges and, possibly going to the NFL. They want to see those particular players and stars represented, in a bigger light. The XFL still kind of, a small fish in a big pond. They could run the potential of having lesser viewership, but we don't know, because the NBA season would have ended. So they could just kind of swoop right on in, and it would just be constant football between the two. Is there a way they can make that work? It's possible. But if anything changes as far as college goes and it's just XFL, that would be the perfect time, because now at that time, all eyes will be on the XFL. And this would be a great way to get that product where it needs to be and get that product on that upper echelon of making it well put together. And that will help bring in the viewerships. The gameplay will be just as good as what we saw before COVID hit, and just build on that, get it better. So the XFL definitely has that ability to do that. Could they do it? Absolutely. Will they do it? That we don't know. Right now, everything with this bubble situation is still just speculation. Now, once we get more definitive information coming from Danny Garcia, we'll know for sure. She may put out a tweet. She may even have, because we know for sure Jeffrey Pollock is back. We know she's bringing him back. She's bringing back a lot of the executive staff. So, he could drop a tweet or, let the fans know in some type of way. But nevertheless, a 2021 season is possible within a bubble for the XFL. It's much more manageable. It's much more contained. And of course, with the physical distancing and, the COVID-19 testing and, things like that, it still has to be precautionarily done. So everybody can stay safe, stay healthy. We're not trying to get anybody sick or anything like that. We know for sure a lot of the staff, including probably most of the coaching staff, will probably be wearing masks out there. There won't be any fans. Will they do something kind of like what, the NFL or the NBA and what WWE has done as far as, have a screen or some type of dome of some kind and have fans kind of out there, and then they can just use the sounds from old XFL games and plug those in on top of it. They could do that. It's a possibility. How well it's going to be portrayed on there, we don't know. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that a bubble for the XFL is a good thing, or should they try and do something else? Is it even possible for them to do a bubble within, that's because remember, the XFL season is probably only going to be 10 weeks, 12 max. So that is something that we could really kind of see how it'll take shape. And they continue to do 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday on 2 different bubble domes or arenas or whatever they use. It could be a good thing. It could be, when done the right way, it could be a very, very good thing. And now last but not least, we're talking about the championship game. This was something that we missed out on in this, I guess, XFL version 2.0. We did not get a championship game. We had 5 weeks of regular season play and no championship game. We didn't even get, I really wanted to see an overtime game just to see how the overtime actually worked. We didn't even get to see that yet. So there's still some what ifs out there. But as far as the location goes, I think you should stick with the location of where originally was supposed to be, which was in Houston. That was the original location of where the championship game was supposed to be. Now, with the championship game, depending on how well everything goes, and if they do this bubble, they could probably do the bubble in a different location somewhere and put a bunch of screens up and do like they did. We don't know. But nevertheless, the championship game is going to be the most important game for this league. This championship game has got to hit hard. And I'm talking rock solid hard, making sure that, they get the right sponsorships, they really create that sense of excitement, that sense of, I really want to watch this game. So with the championship game, that's going to be huge. And who knows, the location where they decide to do the championship game, maybe they'll open it up for the fans to come in. Now I probably limit the capacity, but nevertheless, if you can get fans in the stands at the championship game, that's a big deal right there. And I think that's going to be one of the true testaments of what the XFL could do in that type of situation. But then, there's always St. Louis. And, St. Louis with the Battlehawks holds a special place in my heart because those fans were absolutely electric for every home game. And it was only going to get bigger. So I think you continue respect for this championship game going into 2021. Give it to Houston. But I think the next one should definitely be in St. Louis, without question, because by then we'll probably have vaccines. Things will start really getting back to normal. People can start showing up for these games again with these packed stadiums. I mean, the championship game in St. Louis, they can pack it out. They were already going to do 60,000 plus on their 6th-week game, which was a home game. That would have been huge. Now, can you imagine a championship game and St. Louis is in the championship facing whichever opponent? It could be the Vipers. It could be, the Roughnecks. It could even be the Wildcats. Doesn't matter. It could be any of those teams. But if you can hold that in St. Louis, just the buildup of excitement. I think strategically and business-wise, that would be the smartest location to go next, because the fan base is already super huge. And then with them being able to finish out this, that season, and then their championship game in that stadium there in St. Louis, I'm making a prediction right now. I'm guaranteeing in the 2022 season, if they get it, if St. Louis gets to be the host of the championship game, my thoughts, they do 80,000 plus. Like, easy, no question, 80,000 plus. So now you're on NFL level, just for a championship game. And that's huge for the XFL. And that is something that they should definitely look at. But what do you guys think? You guys think the XFL location for the championship game should be respected in Houston like it originally was supposed to be? Or should they just change locations? Because there's plenty of other locations that they could go to. But I think Houston was a hot spot with the Roughnecks going 5-0, and people were loving that team. But then you got the Seattle Dragon, and Seattle was doing big numbers too, as far as an audience goes. So I think those are the main three that I think you should seriously look at for the 2021 season. If they're able to get a hold of a stadium and actually be able to get fans in the stands by the championship game. Because they could probably do the bubble for the regular season, and then something opens up in one of the locations of where those teams are at, where they can start bringing fans in, just to even have it at, 40, 50% capacity. That still can be a lot of people, and that would really, like I said, be a big deal for the XFL going into 2022 on a high note like that. But you guys let me know what you think of that right there. But anyway, I do have more news that I'm going to drop probably tomorrow. Today is Wednesday, the 25th, 26th, something, 26th, 2020. So tomorrow's the 27th. So I'll probably try and drop. I do have some more XFL news. I'll try and drop those tomorrow. So, we got news coming out about what coaches are going to be returning. And then we take our own little predictions on when we think the XFL draft will take place. So those are just a couple of things that we'll probably touch on. But thank you guys so much for joining me here on XFL Talk. Again, I apologize for taking so long. I'm glad I was able to at least get this out there for you guys now. So let me know what you guys think of everything. And make sure on YouTube you subscribe to my channel, Desmond Dukes, because this is where you'll find us on. And then leave a comment. I love comments. You guys can leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think of some of the stuff we just talked about today. And also drop a like on there. So thank you guys so much. Take care. We'll see you next time.